Hello paddlers, welcome back to my channel. I've received an email with a sort of like, I can't say strange, I found it a real interesting question. Right, and yeah, what it was, this lady, actually, a lady, which is great to hear, actually, that it was a lady, because it's very, very rare when you see a lady who's kayaking on my local river. I think I've maybe seen one or two in about the last 2 years. You see plenty of ladies paddleboarding, but you don't see many kayaking. But anyway, this lady said she goes kayaking and stuff. I just got into kayaking this year. But thing is, she'd watched Patrick Air on the Water, that little saga he did with all different people of why the paddle, and I did my island thing, right? And she just wondered, with her just starting paddling, what made me get into paddling, right? So I thought, I'm going to make a video saying why I got into kayaking, and hopefully, right, you see, I don't know how to do this. I was going to suggest that other people make videos saying why they got into kayaking. Right, but if you don't want to do, because I would find it interesting, because I know plenty of people that go kayaking, but why? Why did they actually start kayaking? Right, I thought that they'll make like interesting videos. I could be wrong, nobody might watch this. But if you don't want to make a video, just leave a comment, you know what I mean? If you're a subscriber, if you're not a subscriber, just leave a comment and tell us why you got into kayaking. Right? Might be a simple reason, it might be a complicated reason. But I just thought, seeing as this lady asked me, I basically told her, well, actually, to be quite honest, I said, it's a bit of a long story. I'll get back to you. And I spent nearly a day writing out this reply to her, then sent it off. And she basically sent me an email back saying, no, thank you for all the detail. But I thought, I'll make a quick video. So why did I start kayaking? And hopefully you lot will make something similar, or let me know, because I think it's interesting why people start to kayak. As for me then, right, let's jump straight into it. I basically grew up in the water. When I was about maybe 5 or 6, we lived near like a river bank, not a bank, a beck, right? It was a beck, like a little strip off from the river, so to speak. And it was a bit, it wasn't exactly dirty, it wasn't exactly clean, but it wasn't exactly dirty. And all the kids from the neighbourhood, we was always in it, summertime, spring, summertime. And we were swimming in it, diving in it. We basically, I remembered we used to get plastic, you know, like bin bags nowadays. Well, there weren't any bin bags back then, but we used to get like plastic sheets and wrap ourselves in like a bin bag and slide down the beck into the water, which when you think about it nowadays is extremely dangerous, having a big plastic bag wrapped around you while you're going into the water. But we were young, but yeah, and that's how I grew up in that sense, from 5 or 6 years of age. But when I was about maybe 9 or 10, we'd moved to another house. Well, parents had moved, and they took me with them. Don't know why. No, we moved to another house, and it was a lot closer to my local river now, right? And once again, I was down there all the time, right? With friends and stuff, and there actually was a sewage works near there at one point. It's all gone now, right? It's a little reservoir type thing, something like that anyway. But there was a sewage works, and as you got near it, you could see and smell, because you could walk right next to it, and that's all I'm seeing there. But we used to go fishing along there, I know. But they'd pump everything out once it'd been cleaned. Just use your imaginations, right? But further up, we used to go fishing there, and it's so funny that song I found on YouTube that I played a couple of times, called The River Rat. It's almost about my life. It could have been made about me. Because we used to catch eels there, and also, you never caught a fish. We never saw a fish in our lives. We used to catch eels there. We had lines on sticks and stuff like that, and we used to go eel fishing, and it was just one of them things. But then moving on, luckily, or I was lucky enough that my parents had got a small caravan along the east coast, and it was right near the water, at a place called Cowden Caravan Park, and it was actually right near the bombing range. Then there was a practice bombing range for the planes to fly over, and they used to fly right over the top of the caravan park. And I tell you what, they were low. You could see the pilots at times, especially the old-fashioned, if I pronounce this right, Vulcan bombers, the ones that look like a triangle from underneath. But they used to do all their training out there. But so I grew up in the sea at that point. I mean, I was from the age of about 10 to whatever. I basically lived in the sea. I was constantly in the sea. I mean, it didn't matter what the sea was like, the waves or whatever, that didn't matter. I used to put on a life jacket. When the tide, I mean, this is hard to believe. What I'm going to tell, this next bit is hard to believe, but I, hand to God, this is the truth, right? Sometimes the waves can be 6, 7, 8 foot high on a bad stormy day. And when the tide was coming in, right, we still used to go in the sea. Right, but what it is, we had life jackets on, and we'd go into the sea, and these 8 foot plus waves, right, would hit us, would be underwater, even with a life jacket on, would be chucked underwater, and then literally thrown up onto the beach. Because nowadays, if I saw 8 foot waves, I want to think, I'm going in there with a life jacket on just to get thrown up. No. But when you're a kid, you don't really, not like that. There's no such thing as fear when you're a kid like that. That's just fun. That's not dangerous, that's fun. But yeah, so I spent a lot of time, even in rough waters, when the water was nice, right, I'd be on my surfboard, right, and there's a reason why I did that. It was made out of polystyrene. It wasn't a proper surfboard. Well, technically it was, right, but one of them polystyrene ones, right, bought from a shop, right, or maybe my parents won it at bingo, further down at a place called Hornsey, further up at a place called Hornsey. But yeah, so I spent a lot of time in the water there. Right, I was just in the sea 24/7. Right, during summer holidays, you know what I mean. You never actually got me out the sea. Right, had a little dinghy. Used to be in the sea with a dinghy, but whenever I went out in the dinghy, my father used to come with me. And he had sort of like a 200-foot rope tied to it, and he'd have the rope like next to him, and I'd be sat in the dinghy messing about or whatever. Right, but yeah. So from there, as you get older and older, you watch things, you see things, and I got into swimming a lot as well, going to the local swimming baths and swimming in the sea as well. I used to do a lot of swimming in the sea, and it was just a natural progression. First time I saw somebody in a kayak, right, on a lake, I thought, oh, that looks like fun. You get me? And I tried it and stuff, and then as you get older, yeah. So basically, that's where the roller coaster came to, right? And that's how I ended up literally getting into kayaking. So that's my story. I'm a bit of a water baby. But yeah, if you listen to that track I played, right, It's called the River Rat. You might have already heard it, but when I first heard it, and then I read it, I thought that is literally about me. It did. It sounded like they were singing about me. It was so funny. Well, me and the couple of dozen other kids who basically were exactly the same from the bank and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's my little story of how I got into kayaking. So, what's yours? Either make a video, because I'd love to see it, right? Or just tell us in the comments, because I think that's interesting. Okay then, paddlers, I'm going to leave it there. Hope you like this short-ish little video. And I can't remember her name. I was going to say thank you to the lady who's actually given me this idea. What was your name, love? I can't remember. I'll put it up here in other words. I'll turn my computer on, look at the screen, look at her email, and I'll put it up there. Okay, Julie, thank you. Don't know why it just popped into my head. Julie, yeah. So thank you, Julie, for giving me this little idea. So if you do like this video, thank Julie. Okay then, paddlers, I will leave it there and hope get to see your videos telling us how you got into kayaking. Not why you love it. Patrick covered that, and that was a great saga he did. I want to know how it all began. Okay then, I will catch you all later. Cheers.